Hello. A few people have asked me how to access Galileo, so I want to show you very quickly how to do that and how to select the citation information from a source and put it in a Word document. So the first thing we need to do is when you log into Blackboard, you will see on the right side the Access Galileo link. Because you logged in to your Blackboard account, you will not need to include or provide a username and a password. You've already logged in with that information. So click on Access Galileo and then go ahead and click Advanced Search. Okay, and then we'll look at our assignment sheet. So your assignment sheet lists 12 questions that you need to answer. I want you to think about these 12 questions the same way you would think about answering a question that somebody asks you about an actor who played in a particular movie. For example, if somebody asks you, hey, do you know who played Gandalf in Lord of the Rings? If you didn't know that, you would just go probably to Google and type in Gandalf actor Lord of the Rings, or you might write in Lord of the Rings cast, Gandalf, who played Gandalf in Lord of the Rings. You might ask a complete question, but you're just looking for the answer. So I want you to think about these questions the same way. You're going to answer all 12 questions, and I want you to just think about it that way. Hey, what types of careers can I work in after I receive my diploma or certificate? Simple. But of course, it'll be diploma or certificate in whatever your field is. So what types of careers? You might look in careers for cosmetologists, careers for mechanics, careers for welders. That might be your search terms. So these questions help you generate search terms that you can use for Google and Galileo. I will say that Google is a lot more user-friendly, allowing you to actually just copy and paste these questions and put them in in Google search bar. However, Galileo is a little bit more persnickety, so you need to just create search terms. You're not going to be asking questions so much. You can try and you may get some success, but for the most part, that's a little bit difficult to do in Galileo. So I want you to look at let's look at question number 2. It asks us, what is the demand or availability for your career major? Has demand increased or decreased in the last 5 to 10 years? So we can go back into Galileo and we can look for this search phrase, open quotation, job outlook. And notice I have it in quotations because I want Galileo to look up that phrase. If I do not put the quotation marks around job outlook, Galileo will come back with every single source that has the word job in it and every source that has the word outlook in it. But we want it to find job outlook, not just job and not just outlook. So quotation marks. So job outlook, and then we also want it to look for the job outlook for my area. So let's say that I'm going to go into welding. Let's see what happens. I'm not putting any quotation marks around welding because it's just one word. It's no problem. Let's click search. Welding, a red hot career. This looks like a good search, like a good source. I'm going to click it. And I want to view the whole document. So you can actually, for many of these sources in Galileo, you will find the option to actually listen to it and it will read it to you. But what I want you to see is look at all these bolded words that have welding. What Galileo does is your search terms that are in the document are going to be bolded like this. So you can see, hey, this document does deal with welding, in this case, with welding. So if you want to read it, if I were you, I would just actually print this out if you can and read it. I don't see an option here. I've got the HTML, but I'm not sure how to print this. I guess you could just print from here, but it's going to be probably a messy print You can still do it, but it's going to be messy. I'm going to click print and see what it says. So I can print it and include the MLA citation with it. Let's see if it gives me an option. Yeah, it does. This one is going to take 3 pages. So it's not going to be a bad looking. If you wanted to print that to read it later on, you could. That's good. The main thing is though that you need to keep this source readily available to you, because ideally you can copy and paste the answers. Now if you do that, remember you have to use quotation marks around sources that you cite. Do not just say, oh, I paraphrased it. No. If you copy and paste, that means quotation marks if you want to avoid getting a 0 for plagiarized work. Okay? The next thing you can do is cite it. Let's say that you like this source, you want to use this source. Click on Cite. And we're going to scroll down here to MLA. And I'm going to select just the citation and press Control-C. Let's see if I can pull up a Word document here without my computer being too persnickety. All right, I'm going to press Control-V, Control-V, paste. So you can see that my option here actually put the entire the entire source citation. It's not formatted correctly as far as it doesn't have Times New Roman, 12-point font. It doesn't have double spacing. It doesn't have a hanging indent. But all the information you need is there. So let me show you one more option that you can do when to paste something. You can also right click and you can choose one of these 3 options. So I like to choose the second or the third option, because when you do this, you lose that little ghosty gray background that you saw earlier. So let me show you one more time. Oh, I can't do it. Let's see. Control-V. And there's that. You see that little ghost gray background? You don't want that. So I'm going to simply press Control-A, select the entire source, and then I'm going to, in the Home tab still, I'm going to click right here. Well, let me do one more thing. I'm sorry, I got to backtrack. Let's backtrack just a little bit here. I'm going to right click and choose the second option. Okay, now I'm going to select all of this. On the Home tab in the paragraph section, I'm going to click the 0 after. So 0 before, 0 after, double space, and then hanging indent. Beautiful. And then I'm going to select the Times New Roman, 12-point font. Notice when I did that, look what it did. It actually took away, it actually added a blank line, basically. You cannot submit your source citation with a blank lines. Well, you can, but you'll get points deducted. So you don't want that. The way that you correct this is you have to kind of guesstimate how much of the line below will fit into that blank section right there. How much do you think? I'm going to guess the equal mark right here. So you make sure you click beside the part where you want to end and put it into the next line, the line above, and then press on the keyboard the space key. Wow, it will even take more. So you want to fill up this line as much as possible. Remember, you should not have any links, web links. So if by chance it links, you want to right click and turn off that web link. I bet whenever I pressed the enter key, it did not do it. Yay! Okay, so this is perfect. Now red hot should be hyphenated, but Mr. Wilson does not hyphenate it, so don't hyphenate it. Keep it just the way that he had it. So all you have to do is apply that hanging indent. Everything should be italicized properly. This is the title of the article in quotation marks with a period inside the close quotation marks. This is the title of the journal or the magazine, and it is italicized. That's correct. And then you've got the date of publication, the number of publication, and the year, and the page number that it comes from. Everything else is the web link. You do not want to erase that. You do want to keep that web link. Now, to write your annotation, you're simply going to press, after you've pressed the enter key here, after that period, you're going to press the tab key twice, and then you can start typing. And it should wrap beautifully right under here. Do you see that? It should wrap beautifully. So if you have any more questions, if you have any problems finding sources in Galileo, go to the assignment sheet, the sample bibliography that I provided for you in the Writing Assignment 3 folder, and you can look at the bottom of that sample and you will see some other sources that you might think are useful that have got a couple of Galileo sources in there. Anyway, I hope you have good luck finding it. You need to find only one Galileo source. I love Galileo, however, because you can actually find all the answers to your sources to your questions in Galileo. I love that it already gives you right here this beautiful citation. You're not having to worry about going to citethisforme.com or citation what is it called? Citation maker or whatever.com. You're not having to worry about those websites because in Galileo it gives it to you as perfect. Make sure when you use your Google sources that you do not just copy and paste that web address. That is not the way that you do MLA format. You need to be able to actually create a source citation, and you can use the citethisforme.com. There are several out there that you're welcome to use, but that is a good one. If you have any questions about citing your sources from Google sources, then please let me know. And I hope this has helped you. Have a great day.